For 3 years at Michigan State, Travis Walton's responsibilities have been at one end of the floor, but as the senior enters the home stretch of his Spartan career, the lockdown defender is developing a knockdown jumper. Though the Twins can be mistaken for one another by their looks and stat line, their styles of play on the court resemble their numbers 33 and 34. Slightly different. Sean, a lot of things starting to fall into place in the Greater Buckeye Conference with you guys at the top. How big is this game because of the way Finley, after the Finley win and stuff like that? Well, now that I've learned all the fundamentals on how to pitch, and I've seen them pitch, now it's time to see if I can hit off what I just learned about. Huge weekend last weekend, defeating Ottawa Glandorf, the former #1 team in Division III, and then Toledo St. Francis. You guys having trouble earlier in the season closing out those nail-biting games. What was the difference last weekend? In 3 November games last season, Chris Wells ran for 467 yards. And with Coach Tressel's challenge to do it once again ringing in his ears against Northwestern, Beanie took the rock and kept on rolling. And after that quick lesson, it was time to see if I could enjoy the ride. And while at first I struggled, there you go. Eventually, the rookie was in flight. Oh, man. This past week in girls high school hoops showed some state-ranked teams from West Central Ohio falter on the hardwood. So how would the Associated Press view these teams' defeats in the latest state poll? Bath, their first loss of the year dropped them from tops in Division II to 3rd, with Wapakoneta, despite an undefeated week, dropping 2 slots to 15. Division III, the team that took down the Wild Kittens, Liberty Benton, moves up 1 to 5th. Finally, D4, Crestview and New Bremen still 1st and 3rd respectively, with the Lady Jays from Delphus only falling to 6th after their loss to the Lady Cardinals. Rounding things out, our Fort Recovery, Ottoville, and Lipsick. Going back to those Lady Knights, we jump straight to the 4th quarter of their matchup between Salina, because those Bulldogs were holding strong. Kendra Francis buries the triple try. Salina's up 4. Crestview responding. Kelsey Netterman finds Carly Lichtensteiger, who buries the jumper from about the foul line. We're tied at 50. Time winding down. Lady Knights with a chance for the W, but not once, but twice they failed to hit from close range. We're going to overtime in the extra session. Lady Knights with it. Joe Thompson crossover and buries the J. The only field goal of the extra session, 58-52. Crestview moves to 17-0. Wapaks, Devin Golden, 9 points shy of 1,000 in her career, looking to get that against Coldwater. Golden only 3 points first half, much more aggressive in the second. Can't get the layup to go, but snags the board, puts up the stick back and one. That leaves her 1 away from the magic number. 5 minutes later, Christy Steinke hands off to Golden, spins, lets the defender goes by and goes by. 1,001 right there. Nice little commemorative ball given to only the 3rd Lady Skin ever to reach 1,000 points. Wapak wins 48-39. Lima Senior visiting Van Wert this evening. Vince Halliday rallying the troops. 2nd quarter. It looked like it worked. Lima's Diana Hurley muscling one up. Put the Spartans up 6 at this point. Lady Spartans decide, let's do it again. Hurley inside banks it in, leads 25-17, but Van Wert would get defensive to get back in it. Nikki Young takes it back for the layup. They win 52-48. Fort Jennings, Ottoville on the boys' side, packed house in Big Green Country. We start things off with the Muskies. Trevor Van Sossen gets the feed in the corner, drives, and gets the jumper to go. Ottoville responding. Alex Altenberger passes to Andrew Cook. Hesitates, drives, and hits the fadeaway J. But back and forth, this one went all night for Jennings. Jared Horseman feeds inside to Troy Warnicki, who goes glass, and the foul. Ottoville looking to hang around. Nathan Turnwald can get the 3 ball. Brad Turnwald gets the board and gets the stick back, but Fort Jennings gets the win, 61-57. To baseball, Defiance graduate John Neese is gearing up for potentially his first full season in the big leagues. Neese was called up by the New York Mets and made his major league debut September 2nd last year. Quite the memorable yet challenging day.
Tried to make everything routine, most routine as possible. Obviously it wasn't, because it was my big league debut, and kind of I like to, listen to music. I don't like to be bothered. And, obviously being the debut, I get phone calls constantly, and there's just, It was rough to deal with as far as my routine, but I ended up fighting through it.
To play football, you must either be fast, strong, quick, or athletic. That's what the 2007 Minor League Football News national champion Lima Warriors are looking for. And they get their first glimpse at their open combine tryouts, but it's only a glimpse.
It's a whole lot different from running in here inside, running a 40, than putting some pads on and go out and run on a football field. But in general, we can pick out the athletes. We can see who are athletes. We can see who's got athleticism and who could probably help us, compared to the guys who probably just not going to fit in at all.
The goal is to strap on the pads here at Lima Stadium, and though it is semi-pro ball, don't think for a second it's just a bunch of guys off the street playing a glorified pickup game.
They actually think it's more like a recreational or more like an intramural team. I tell them it's more organized and more, more put together than that.
So I decided to see what type of guys made up the Lima Warriors. I ran, jumped, and showed my abilities as a wide receiver. Okay. And I found out firsthand what these players have said all along.
We're athletes just like everybody else. We just don't get paid all the big bucks for it. We play for the love of the game.
It's the kind of guys that love football. They don't want to stop playing football, and no matter what, they want to be on the field. They want to give it their all, and they want to win. That's the kind of players we're looking for. They don't have to be the best talented player out there, but we're looking for the guy with the big heart and the drive just to be the best. That's what makes the Lima Warrior.
So whether you're big or small, fast or slow, when all the huffing, puffing, and grunting's over with, the Lima Warriors are more than just a football team.
We're a family team. We're as one. We're just a big family.
The Student Athlete of the Week, brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of Ohio, keeping you in the game.
I really love football, and growing up I wasn't able to play because in midget league I was over the weight limit because I was always too big, but then in 7th grade I just played, I started, and I just loved it from there.
Lima seniors Jared Pugsley's still the biggest in his class, but they like that. The 6'6" seniors muscling up for the Spartans football and basketball teams, all anchored by the size 20 shoes the 270-pounder wears, which has its pros and cons.
They're all cheap because they're always on sale because nobody wears size 20, especially around here. But I can get a lot of shoes that my friends wear, so really I start a lot of new trends.
And those feet weren't only made for walking.
I was asking a question in my math class, and they were just tired and just didn't know the answer, and nobody was responding, and Jared took his shoe off and held his big toe up to raise his hand to answer my question, and we all just started laughing.
It's no laughing matter when Jared laces up those kicks on the hardwood, or Pugsley becomes the smashing Spartan.
He's a big guy that moves really well, and he's very competitive, and he'll knock you down and help you back up at the same time, but then get right back into what we're doing. So he's certainly a pleasure to have on our team.
Jared's a part of other teams outside athletics, including 4 choirs, using music as a way to summon his softer side.
It calms me. It's just fun to just not always have to stress about football and being tough and everything. It's cool to just be mellow and sing. Have fun doing that too.
What's fun is how the 3.2 students showing bigger is better in some ways.
He's such a role model, and the other kids see that he gets to do everything that he does, and he gets honored for a lot of things that he does. So, they want to hang out with him. They want to see what he's doing.
It helps guide the kids because they see that he's involved in a lot of things and still can budget his time and do all the things that he does. And, I think it helps them to keep them grounded.
Size 20s can't keep Jared Pugsley grounded as he continues to succeed above the crowd.